Thank you, Earl. I know you guys are probably in a hurry. It's after 12, so we're approaching on our lunch, and I'm going to give you a brief overview and take all 45 minutes that we have. So, no, I'm teasing. Hey, I'm Brian Kucic from RSystems. It's a pleasure to be here, and just want to give a quick update on RSystems. We've been around since 2005, so we're a spin out of the National Center of Supercomputing Applications in Champaign-Urbana, University of Illinois. And basically, we offer a bare metal HPC solution. We pride ourselves with our knowledge of and experience of our tech team. Very knowledgeable, including not only Linux, but Windows HPC. Do we have any Windows HPC users here? I didn't, wow, okay. So, so what we do is we pride ourselves on delivering the best performing HPC resources for commercial and academic researchers. And so we have very flexible usage models and billing structures as well. We work with major organizations, all different verticals, oil and gas, motorsports, life sciences, universities, just to name a few. So what we've been doing as far as an upgrade, we added a second data center down in Houston. It's interesting about this, it's owned by vCompute, privately owned. We negotiate a very aggressive rate, so I don't know what happened here. But so anyway, we have room to expand, and we're getting a lot of interest from our oil and gas clients because we can actually host their data in this facility. They can come in and use a baseline number of cores and then be able to burst within the same facility. This thing is going a little faster. So the other thing we added too that's kind of exciting is Power 8 and soon to be Power 9. So IBM would like, you know, we have a couple of clients that requested this resource, and IBM was happy enough to get us a Power 8 right away, and so we're servicing our clients with the best solution possible that fits their workload. So we take a holistic approach to looking at the workloads and workflows and making sure we have the right solution for the client. I don't know what's going on with the slide deck here, but yeah, I think there's an animation, but that's all right. Okay. That's fine. I'm trying to go as fast as I can for you guys. The other thing we provide too is we're partners with folks such as Rescale, Realogic, UberCloud, CrunchYard, and ParallelWorks, so we can have a front end into our systems. And that's nice because you know, it gives us a wide variety of clients and options for, again, to serve the client with the best solution possible. We're pretty happy about that. We continue to expand our relationship with these service providers. We're also adding Skylake this year. We're, if you guys have heard of Dell's HPC Cloud Solution, we're the folks behind Dell's HPC Cloud Solution. It's all on Dell paper. We're pretty excited about that. We've been doing that for over 6 years, been very successful. And we're looking forward to expanding that presence not only in the US, but we're also incorporating, have a data center in the UK and right outside of London in Slough. And so we're seeing very good performance on Skylake, and we'll be ordering a Skylake cluster here in Q4. And anxious for you guys, if you haven't had a chance to benchmark on Skylake, just let me know, or Power, or whatever you'd like to do. We can arrange that. So we'll have some major announcements of more expansion coming at supercomputing, so we're looking forward to that as well. And this is one of our verticals is EDA, so we're really excited about what we got planned for that. And again, I just wanted to give you a really quick overview on what we've been up to and how we're still serving the HPC community, both academic and commercial side. Any questions? Uh-oh.
I have one is, what are your plans as far as expansion and size over the next few years?
Expansion what?
In the size of the cloud and provisioning that you have, as far as like nodes or performance metrics or something, just how much you plan to grow over time?
Well, you know, that depends a lot on, you know, we always add new resources every year and look at new technologies. I think that's a value add that we bring to the table, is that a lot of our clients, especially in F1, they look at new technology, but they're regulated. So we'll benchmark and work with the client to determine if the ROI is there to jump to the newer technology. but that's one of our competitive advantages. We always have new technology on the floor. We work with folks like Dell in their lab. We're very close to Dell's lab. We get pre-release technology. So we can actually look at buying that ahead of time, just like Skylake. We're trying to get out there right away with Skylake and be early adopters of the latest technology. And we continue to do that. And then the other part of that is our clients depend on us to have the latest and greatest, and some of our clients depend on us just to have second, third gen because they need capacity instead of leading edge resources. Sure.
Yeah. Our survey showed that a lot of the HPC community these days uses both on-premise and cloud resources, including public cloud. And when we asked them, how easy is it for you to decide whether something should be run on-premise or in a private cloud or a hybrid cloud or public cloud, 80-some% say it's very easy to decide.
It's very easy?
Yeah, very easy to decide. Do you find that?
I find it might be easy to decide, but it takes forever. I mean, we'll go through a lot of benchmarking exercises and let them get a feel of how it is to access the resources, the data transfer, and experience the technical support. But as far as decision making, it takes a long time, and I don't know if that's because they're just, the adoption rate when we first started in 2005 was very tough. I mean, a lot of people just would not take their data off-prem. We're seeing that obviously loosen up with the popularity of cloud. But for the most part, it's still the internal folks like to have a piece of it. We're not there to compete with the internal folks. We're there to complement the internal folks. So whatever best way to serve the client to get their work done, that's what we're after. And so it's still a tough call. We've been some of the sales cycles is a year and a half, and if you're lucky, it's 6 months. But it takes a lot of paralysis by analysis type deal to make them get the decision going.
Well, I guess the follow-up question is, we see, including in governments, a lot of pressure from coming from up top to do everything in the cloud, and a lot of people kind of at the HPC level asking us, help.
Right.
Everything should be run in the cloud.
And that's where we come in, and we work at their workflows and determine, yes, you want to keep your on-prem solution, but if you have burstable projects and work with them on scheduling, that's the key. So if you can work with them on scheduling, you could actually do a hybrid approach and make it as transparent as possible, configure it as transparent as possible to their internal resources, and make it jump on very quickly for a 30-day dedicated run, knock out the project, then they go back to their internal resources. So we're very flexible on how we can set this up, especially on invoicing. For universities, we set up a prepay, so you just prepay for the semester, and then we send the usage reports. When the meter gets a little low, you fill it back up, and you're good to go. So we do a lot of creative billing. Yes?
So as new technologies, and I guess when I say technologies, I really mean methodologies and applications of these technologies, and new client bases emerge with different applications. Do you find your benchmark tests evolving and shifting to try to reflect the changing needs that like high-performance data analytic applications and other sorts of things may need versus the more traditional simulation and other kinds of things that the HPC community has been focused on in the past?
Yeah, that's a great question, because a lot of us will, our clients will say, hey, have you benchmarked this model or something like that? But we can do a standard benchmark, Fluid or ANSYS or whatever ISV, but we really take a look at their model and benchmark their model, look at their workflow, so we have the exact replication of their internal resource to make the right decisions to that. So we try and replicate as much as possible their environment so we can make the right decisions based on that, and not just taking, okay, on a standard benchmark, you're going to get this result and this performance. Well, that's not always correct. So we really have to work with them.
So this may be part of your secret sauce, right? But have you identified any particular trends in terms of how the demand function is changing for what you're looking for in the next environment that you're going to acquire and develop?
Well, it is kind of our secret sauce, but it's really not a secret. I mean, a lot of our clients come to us and say, hey, we have this resource in-house, we want to replicate it or duplicate it, or we have this workload that we just want to run off-prem. We've used other providers, but I think where we take our pride is our customer service. So We have the novice user to the experienced user, everything in between, and we walk them through the environment. And even on the dedicated nodes, you have a custom, or you have a system admin assigned to you and your team. You get all the contact information, including, believe it or not, the cell phone. So you can actually call somebody if you have a question or an issue. And it's kind of old school, but yet that's led to our success now for over 12 years, or going on 12 years in October. Yes?
See the impact from the generic service providers, Microsoft buying Cycle, Oracle saying their bare metal is as good as any other HPC, it's got low latency, and also there's a big Amazon Salesforce focus on HPC.
Sure. Yeah, we're friends with all those guys, and they have a good service offering for what they do, but we feel if you want a bare metal solution and you don't want a VM environment, we're the place to go. Some of our other clients that have used those providers said they couldn't get the scalability in an HPC instance that they needed, so or the support that they needed. So, they're good for what some people need, but when you need true HPC, you want bare metal, you want maximum performance, you want InfiniBand interconnected resources, you want a fast file system, as Ed mentioned, there's all these different components that go into HPC. It's just not the core. The other thing we noticed too is a lot of people are hung up on what's your core hour pricing? What's your core hour pricing? Well, we look at it a little differently. We look at it cost per job. Because you might have a little higher core pricing, which we're very competitive on our core pricing, but you look at the cost per job, because when you look at performance versus some other providers that are out there, we excel in performance, therefore it reduces the cost of your job, and that's a pretty important piece that people have to realize. Yeah, thank you.
Great, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.